Okay, let's go.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Thursday night Snaggin Night Live. Appreciate everybody coming in this evening. We have an awesome guest with us. He's been with us before, but we have Kevin from Palmetto Cats.
What's up? What's up?
How you doing this evening?
I am peachy.
Peachy. Everybody always uses the same fruit.
I'm banana-y.
There you go.
Banana-like.
Oh, man. Hope everybody had a fantastic week so far. And looking forward to an awesome, beautiful weekend this weekend. I know there's some events going on this weekend.
Yep. Saturday's supposed to be darn near 90 degrees here. So that's going to be interesting.
Hopefully the fish will be going wild for you.
Yeah, I hope so.
You've been catching some good ones lately. I just watched your most recent video. You caught a couple of them, a couple nice ones on that one.
Yeah, that was fun. Doubled up on the flatheads.
Yep, the flatheads. And then the next clip, you were like, "Oh, it's just been a tough bite today." I was like, "Dude, you just doubled up on flatheads. Be quiet."
I was saying the same thing to my phone when he was saying that.
Yeah, me and Anna watched it.
It's all relative. It's all relative.
I was like, look at him put that big old weight on that little tiny rod. What are you fishing with? Like 16s?
10s and 12s.
Man.
Yep. Hey, hold on one second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Yep. Hello,
10s and 12s, and like half a pound of gizzard shad.
And you cast it so effortlessly. Like, I'm always afraid to cast weight that big. I just got these from CatCon. Hang on. I haven't even taken them out of the pack. Oh. Because I'm going to fish these downriver by the brackish water.
Okay. What you got? Oh, yes. Yep. I've got a few of them.
I got these from the Sinka shed.
Yes, that's where I got mine.
$13.50 for 3 of these, and that's a pound.
Yep,
it's crazy.
Yep.
My dad thinks I'm nuts when I use a 5 ounce. I'm like, look, you don't fish as far downriver as I do. When you get we fish mostly the upper part of the Cooper River, and the current does get pretty fast, but it's manageable with a 4 or 5 ounce weight if you fish the main channel. But as farther, and just like any river, once you get closer to the ocean, the water starts going faster and faster and faster.
Yep.
And I've thrown weights out there before, and you can just see the line just come around to the back.
Yep.
And I want to do that. What do you call that rod out to the right? What do you call it?
There is a nickname. I don't.
Somebody put it in chat. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
it's
the
throwaway rod.
The rod you throw out to the right.
Yeah.
Or to your left, whatever, but it's straight out from the boat, perpendicular.
Yeah. I do it all the time, but I can't remember what the.
Where's Epic Catfish when you need him?
Well, who do we have in chat here, Kevin? I see you've been saying
swing rod. Thank you, Chris. Swing rod.
Swing rod. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Mike Sampson in the house first, per usual. BurritoeCatfishingLady Lisa. How you doing, Lisa? Cool Cats. Hey, James. How you doing, James? James just had a birthday not very long ago. So
61.
Yep. Happy birthday again to you, James. And also Tellie. Before I forget, Tellie from Hooks and Hammocks also had a birthday not long ago.
25.
Yep, that's right. Wabash Nate. What's up, Nate? Double Hook Angling. Hey, Dave. Hope you're doing all right, man. Saw you were back dealing with some hospital type stuff, and hope everything's going okay for you.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad to see you're in chat. That means some things are going good, at least.
Yeah, at least you can chat. You can type.
That's right. 3 nights. How you doing, 3 nights? Smoky Mountain. How you doing, Smoky? Nice to see you. Let's see here. Bill Reddick, good friend of mine. How you doing, Bill? Nice to see you. I see Bill went down to Florida not too long ago. Got on some good, got some good bass and spent some time with John and his wife. So that's cool. John Boys, good buddy John Boys. How you doing, sir? Almost caught up. Greg Burgess. Love seeing Greg in here. How you doing? He says, hello, Dustin, Austin, and Kevin. Good to see you, my brothers.
You too, man.
Evening, Greg.
Verlina Smith. Hey, V. Says, evening, everyone. How you doing?
How you doing, V?
JG Hill. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, JG?
Yep. And Chris saying swing rod. Chris has a wealth of knowledge. He really does. He hides it sometimes, but he
Just
knows.
it's in a small package.
Yeah. Yep. How you doing, buddy? Sandy Toes. How you doing, Sandy?
Hey, Sandy.
Long time no see. Bob and Doreen Fishing.
Welcome
How you doing,
in,
Bob and Doreen.
Bob and Doreen, what's up?
River at 3030. Hey, Ernest. How you doing, sir? Let's see.
Ernest has been on recently too.
Yeah. He usually he's good for a good flathead, that's for sure. He's put a lot of flathead on the bank. A lot of flathead. There's Randy, old gray hair Swain. How you doing, Randy?
What's up, Randy? Well, there's Randy. There's Lisa. There she is.
Right. Oh yeah, she was in here earlier than Randy, so she gets the bonus point for the night. Crappy Day, Darren. How you doing, Crappy Day? Trying to get caught up here so we can talk about. Hey, Jerry Hager, 419 Fishing and Powder Coating. How you doing, Jerry?
Welcome in, Jerry.
I think we might be caught up here, and we are. So, what do we want to talk about tonight, Dustin?
Well, it's all about the Fat Boy rigs tonight.
Woo-hoo.
So we have the inventor, the creator, the entrepreneur of the Fat Boy rigs himself,
The mastermind.
Give me too much credit.
We give credit where credit is due. So how long you been making the Fat Boy rigs?
Sorry. For about a year now. I just recently opened. We did our Anna and I just opened the business in February, but I've been selling them to Freddie, F.O.A, and he's been selling them, and he still has them. Because I didn't know there's so many rigs on the market, like they're a dime a dozen. I know that. Which is why I know that, we're not looking to make $1 million, but it's a stepping stone to other things that we can talk about later if you want. But yeah, Freddie told me that they were selling pretty good, and I wanted to, again, for those things in the future, I wanted to start something of our own. And so we made a website and got a business license, and it costs a lot of money to start a business. We spent over $1,000 just to start a business. The government wants all your money, all of it. They want it up front. But yeah, so started a website, got it up, and hasn't been very lucrative. I'm trying to get the ads out there and everything and stand out among other rig makers, because like I said, they're a dime a dozen, but I think we have a special product, and I think it stands alone in other ways that I can talk about.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Very cool. So what rig are you selling the best of? What's your most popular rig, Kevin?
I mean, people selling, I've only put 3 on the market at first. When Freddie and I got started together, and that was the Flasher rig, the Plain Jane, and the Purple Peanut.
Right.
And he sold out of all 3. The Flasher, I think, is the most unique. as of right now, no one's copied it. So it's the only flasher rig on the market for in our area anyway, in our genre.
Right.
So I think that's the most intriguing one. But the purple peanut, I've had people say they've caught tons of fish on it. Do I think the colors matter? I don't know. You know, I think the colors do attract people more than fish. Because now in our day and age, you know, people want to match their gear to their boat or their rod holders or their reels or whatever. And I think it's just cool. It's just cool, you know. But I didn't want to make a rig that was so flashy and had so many parts that the everyday fisherman that doesn't do YouTube. I flash all my rigs out. Help me get.
Maybe you should get different rigs there, Chris.
Yeah. But the everyday, like I always think of my father because he's no frills, you know, just regular stuff. And he would fish with these, most of them. Some of them that have 2 rattles on it, he don't want nothing to do with it. But, you know, he'll fish with them because they're not, you know, they're not extravagant. You know what I'm saying? Right. But yeah, all of them have quality parts to it. And, you know, we can get to that whenever.
Well, I'll make a comment and then I got a
sure
question. I've always said, because I've heard it and it really stuck with me. You know, the bait is for the fish, everything else is for the angler.
Yeah.
So, that holds true for me for the most part. However, I think you've added with the flasher rig for me, the most intriguing of that flasher rig. When it comes to the flathead species of the catfish.
Yeah.
Because I was doing some research last week, and you know, I looked at the channel cat and the blue cat. I think pretty much everybody in the catfish world knows that they're scent feeders, right? They go after, their whole body's a big tongue. They go after whatever scent's in the water. They have eyes. They have decent eyesight. Of course, you know, when they're in muddied water, of course, they rely more on the scent and sight. However, one thing I read was flatheads are apex predators, and they have really, really good eyesight. And that really stood out to me last Saturday when I was out fishing, and I had the flasher rig on one of my rods, and I caught 2 fish that day, and they were both flatheads, and they were both on the flasher rigs. So, and I know Austin said he caught a flathead that day too. I think you caught your flathead on a flasher rig as well, right?
I did.
Yeah.
And a pretty decent blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great video, by the way. Thank you for that.
Of course.
Yeah, I would have.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, not to cut you off, but with talking about the flasher rig and it's what it's bringing with it, you know, Dustin and I were talking about it, and he was talking about how the flatheads, right? Everything he just said. And I think those are very good points. I also think added to that is not just the visual of the flashing eye, but if, you know, we all know that bait fish, especially fresh bait fish and obviously live bait fish, they give off an electrical pulse, right? Everything that swims in the water gives off an electrical pulse, and that's what the lateral line in a fish is used for, to feel that pulse and to get their surroundings, and almost like sonar or, you know, whatever, radar for a bat. So if a shad can put off a pulse that a fish can sense, then there's no doubt in my mind that the flasher rig, that LED, when it flashes, is also putting off some type of a pulse that fish can also sense, you know, and that's probably a stronger pulse than what a natural organism can produce.
Makes sense.
I think there might be something to that as well. Could be a combo thing, you know. So
I'll show people what you're talking about.
Yep.
If you want to make me big for a second.
That was my next comment, was if you could talk about the different types of rigs.
Oh, sure, yeah. I didn't mean to beat you to the punch.
Oh, you're good. No, we're fine. Go ahead.
So this is the flasher rig right here. And I do have a little piece of tape on it so that it packs up a little neater. But I'm not going to talk bad about any other rig. I'm just going to talk about why mine is high quality.
Right.
The from the hook on up, the hook is a Mustad Demon circle hook, 10-aught, which Mustad is a trusted name in fishing, any kind of fishing. And then you have Andy. Everybody's heard of Andy. A lot of people use the Andy Monster. Well, this is 80-pound clear monofilament from Andy, and it comes on the big spool just like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then the flasher, and it didn't always have. This one's put together. Oh no, it's just tied together. So this one has a red bead that goes above the hook, and that keeps the flasher from coming down on the hook. I gotta thank Gene Tillman for that. He pointed that out to me. But this flasher, not only does it look like an eye, a fish eye, but when you get it wet, I don't know if it's coming through.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is.
It is.
Yeah, we see it. There it goes. Yep.
And if you can, and like I got a bright light shining on me, if you can imagine that's in a deep, dark place, and all I did was wet the back of my thumb. If I take it off, it stops flashing.
Yep.
So the battery life is going to last longer on it. Now, they don't last forever. You probably, depending on how much you fish, is going to determine how long the battery lasts, obviously. But what I like about it is even when the battery goes dead, you still got a fisheye flash. It's still going to flash. Just the reflection is going to flash. Right. Above that, all my rigs have a 3-inch peg float. And then this one has an inline rattle above it. So not only do you get the sight like you were talking about, you also get the sound. And then up to a 120-pound 3-way bump and swivel. And I dropped it on the ground, but I have, here we go.
Yep, those are the same swivels that I use. I like them a lot.
And I have those. I just recently went to a different swivel. It's still 120-pound, but it's cheaper to buy.
Oh, yep, yep. We have those too.
So the newer ones have that, but all of them come with this clip here.
Yep.
And you can clip that onto that 3-way swivel, or you can not. And that way you can put a bait. So if you like to peg your weights to the rig so they don't slide up and down, you can use that. Or if you use sinker slides or whatever, you can use sinker slide. So they all have in common. Now I do have smaller hooks. So if people request smaller hooks, I can do smaller hooks, but they're not Mustads. They're Gamakatsu style. They're not as high quality. That's why I don't like to advertise them. But all my rigs have the same components in all of them. They have the 3-way swivel, the 80-pound monofilament, the Mustad hook, and a 3-inch peg float. They may or may not have a rattle. They may not have a bead, and this is the only one with a flasher. The purple peanut, which you heard me talk about, and of course I'm not going to go through all that again, but has the purple float, which is unique, a chrome rattle and a black rattle, and everything else is the same. And then the other one that's the main 3 is the plain Jane, and this is for people who don't want any nonsense, just a plain white float, a black rattle, no nonsense. And then the same other components. I do have other ones. I have one called the Widow rig. I don't have one right now out of those, but I have a whole thing I can make them. This is the Steeler rig. So if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan,
that's a good looking rig.
My dad would not use this, not because he's not a Steelers fan, but he doesn't like all this stuff. So that may be like some of them. Laura the Explorer has her own rig. It's the X rig. It's got pink and purple beads and a pink rattle and a purple float. And then Tom LG Bass has his rig, but I'm just going to select this one for him right now. He's still picking them, but he's got like his sticker, like his logo. He's got a green float, chrome rattle, and a blue bead. But I have the Widow rig, which is a black float, a red bead, and a red and black rattle, which I caught my flathead on this weekend. I have something called the watermelon rig, which is awesome. It's pink and there it is. Thank you. I didn't have one on me.
Absolutely.
I caught 3 blues on that one last weekend. And then I have a feature on the website where you can build your own, which Austin took advantage of.
Nice.
So you can choose your float color. You can choose your bead color, which I have 7 or 8 different color beads. I have 7 or 8 different color floats. And and after Austin's order, I decided, well, maybe people don't want my configuration. Maybe they want the debate where the bead goes above or below the float or whatever. So I put special instructions so you can tell me how to build it for you.
Very cool.
So so that's the main gist of it. I haven't told anybody this, so since you invited me on your show so graciously, we will have a catfish rod coming.
Nice.
I have prototypes coming. I don't know if I'm gonna buy into the industry, but I have a prototype coming. And the thing that I am gonna buy into is I have a telescoping panfish rod coming.
Very cool.
So nobody in our community sells that. So I got one being built right now. It's coming in, and that one's definitely the people around here will eat it up.
Right.
I love shell cracker fishing and big bluegill fishing, so that's something coming. And eventually, the goal is for Anna and I, when we retire, we can have our own brick and mortar shop. That's the goal. One that's my goal. She
Nice.
says she'll go along with it, but we'll see.
That's a cool goal.
Yeah. So that's something because I got a good job in education, but like anybody, they when you retire, you want to do something different. You got a little retirement money coming in, so you can play a little bit.
Yep.
So, you mind if I show your website real quick?
Yeah, go for it. I'm trying to get the Facebook store set up.
So it is fatboyrigs.com.
Yep. Very easy.
Absolutely. Very simple. Go check that out.
Yeah, I like the motto, hook, set, let the Lord do the rest.
There you go. So
the guy down there is Casey Nelms. So he's the actual inventor of the Santee Cooper drift rig. And I know him personally. Some of you have met him at CatCon, if you're lucky enough. He's from Royston, Georgia, and he's a legend around here. But he invented this rig minus the rattle and the 3-way bump and swivel. His is very simple. And they still, in the shops around here, they still sell like the original one. It's got a 5/0 hook on it, probably a 2-inch peg float, 2.5-inch instead of a 3, and 50-pound test and just a barrel swivel. But he has endorsed these. I've sent him a whole pack of them, and he said he liked them. So we have the endorsement of the inventor of the Santee Cooper drift rig. I thought
that's awesome. A Hall of Fame legacy.
Yep, and he is an inductee in the. Whether you agree with the ACA or not, it's cool that he's in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was a recent induction, correct?
Yeah, this February he was inducted.
Yep. So what you were talking about a little bit ago, about the create your own one, I was just walk through that real quick, give everybody kind of an idea what it takes. It's real easy.
Yep. That's an awesome feature.
Yeah, so you got the click on create your own. Of course, you can pick your. He's missing out one of the best colors of blue. Team Snaggin Whiskers blue.
Yeah, I'm trying to source that, but some company in China wants like $1 million for blue floats, and I'm like, whoo.
Yeah,
because that would set us really apart from everybody else. But they're EVA, and EVA floats are very expensive.
Yeah, I bought a whole pack of green floats and painted my own blue. So you can go through here.
So you click on the color.
That's weird. That's weird. It shows up on my screen in the drop down, but it doesn't show up on the shared screen.
Huh.
So you click on the color. I don't know
It'll
why.
probably show once you click on it.
So I'll click red. Yep. So it shows.
Yeah,
red
I do
right
have
there.
pink. I don't have pink up there yet, but I do have pink floats.
Yeah, you have the selection for pink.
Oh, I do?
Yep. You have red,
No, that's the
chrome,
rattle.
black, pink,
That's
green,
the
and
rattle.
white. Oh, that's the rattle. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I have to add the color pink to it. I just got those in.
Float color up top. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you okay.
Mhm.
So you pick the color of float, then you pick the color of rattle.
Black's
So
a
you can
unique
pick
color too. That's hard to get to.
the black floats.
Yeah. Was plain white hard to get?
No.
No.
Amazingly so. Purple was easy too.
Yeah. You just don't see it very often.
You don't see it. No, tackle shops don't carry stuff like that.
No.
Yeah.
But even like the, Whisker Seeker and Tackle Warehouse, even the places online, you just don't see some of those colors very often.
Yeah, and what I've done with a lot to get new rattle colors is here's an example. So I haven't put these up there yet because it's just a lot of work building it. But like I took a green rattle and a black rattle and I took them apart and put them together.
Yep.
So you can do chrome and black, you can do chrome and green, whatever.
I like it.
Yeah, so you pick your color of float, you pick your color of rattle, you pick your color of bead. If you
can
want
even put a flasher on any one you want.
Yep, you add the flasher down there, and any special instructions is that where you comes in where you can do the different color of rattles and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, if you want to put a different, like if you want a mixed rattle, or you want an extra bead or an extra rattle, that. Not really that stuff. Let me retract that. It's really for how you want it built.
Gotcha.
So maybe I need to put build instructions. Like if you want swivel, rattle, float, or you want swivel, float, rattle.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Something like that.
It's the order of the components as well.
Some people don't want and I'm of this. I don't want anything by the hook. The flasher rig makes sense because it's by the bait, but I don't want a big rattle by it because I feel like it might hurt my hookup. But some people don't care. But that's the other thing. The rigs are affordable.
Very.
They're not $10 a piece. Shipping starts out at $5, but that's because that's what it costs me to ship one. But if you buy 10 of them, it still costs you $5 to ship all 10. So it's not $5 each rig. It's $5 for an order. And then I think after you get over 10, it goes up like 20 cents or something like that. But like Austin ordered, and I think his order cost me actually like a little less than $5 to send because he's closer to me.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so each one of these rigs, the ones we were talking about, are $5. The flasher rig is $6.
Yeah. And if you click on shop above, if you go up all the way up and click on shop, you should be able to see buy the flasher by itself. I just put that on there yesterday.
There it is.
Yep.
There it is.
So if you just want a flasher, then you can. Oh, there's your Visa. See, it lets you add your Visa right there.
Nice.
But you can they're $3.50 a piece. I am going to put up bulk ordering, but I just wanted to test it out, see if anybody even was interested. But like if you order like 10, you get a little discount. You get them for $3 a piece instead of $3.50.
Right.
They cost me a little over $1 a piece. So in order to make a profit, that's the rule of business. You gotta double it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I really I didn't know that you had the build your own when I went on there. And so I was like, well, I gotta do that. And I think you did a really good job. I see you use a no knot Snell.
Yep.
on the hooks, which is, I mean, that's what I use. And I got the let's see, I got the yellow peg float, green bead, and green rattle, and I that's pretty much a rig that I use all the time. You know, I almost always have some type of variation of that, but with those colors. And I always called it the lemon lime rig, but
nice.
yeah.
Well, you kind of inspired me, and I'm going to talk to you about it. I was thinking about making an Amish rig. I noticed that you fish with a double. You fish with a double float.
I do.
That may be something people are interested in.
Yep. When I use if I'm using big baits, I do want that extra flotation, even if it's a peg float. It could be 2 peg floats, or a peg float and a spook, you know, or it could be 2 spooks, you know, whatever. Yeah. But just double.
I have one that I sent some to Freddie with a Kamal float on it. That may be something you're interested in too. It's a 2.5-inch Kamal float, and it'll float a whole skipjack.
There you go. Yeah. Dustin's got one right there.
Austin inspired me to do one of my own. Got a Nina Ninja, and then a
very unique
3-inch peg float. I know.
Yeah, you don't see a whole lot of people throwing, you know, double with the double floats, or I mean,
it's shocking to look at first. You're like, no way that's gonna work, and then it works, and you're like, okay.
I catch fish with it. So
yeah.
And then, of course, but like you've got, you know, like I know we're here to talk about fat boy rigs, but like you could do like a jumbo spook would do the same thing or whatever. But
right.
But if you don't have, sometimes those jumbo spooks are a little pricey, so you know you can put 2 peg floats on there and call it a day.
Yeah, I decided intentionally not to go with the spooks, you know, for that very reason. They're just, number one, you got different brands out there making, you know, Freddie's got his, and then there's other ones. And then you got the original one from Tackle Bandit, the Demon Dragon. Right. So I didn't want to be in that market. And, you know, it's just, there's so many of them out there that are doing a great job. Why do I need to put another one out there? Right. The only reason I even wanted to do rigs at all is because I didn't see, let me not say that. I wanted to make one that was based on all hot top quality, you know, components.
Right.
Like they're not the cheapest. The hooks aren't the cheapest. The line's definitely not the cheapest, but I fish knowing that I'm not going to get broken off, at least on the leader, by any catfish, you know, and, you know, not on the first one anyway. Maybe after a little wear and tear, but
yeah.
Yeah, Wannabe Outdoors said floats made out of balsa wood would be the Amish rig.
There you go. There you go. You know, I wish there was a way to just with the balsa wood, you know, I mean, that's what, especially back in the day, that's what like all your hard lures were, you know, was balsa wood or basswood, or, you know, something that had some low density.
Sandy, I can look into it. It's so new, I hadn't even thought about it. But I'll definitely look into it for you. Something that I advertised a while ago and nobody's taking advantage of it. So for your listeners, if they want to go over and get some, I have a code that gives the first 25 customers that use it 25% off their order.
I'm going right now.
So it's the code is 25 for 25. So 25% off for the first 25 people in 2025. 25 for F.O.A. I'll type it in the chat. 25 for 25. There you go. So yeah, if you guys go over to fatboyrigs.com, nobody knows that. So first 25 people that do that will get 25% off. So that's pretty much.
We appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
I put it on my Fatboy Rigs Facebook page just to see if anybody bite. And the Facebook page is brand new, so there's hardly anybody, you know, following it. So nobody's taking advantage of it yet. So there you go.
I'm sure somebody around here will.
But yeah,
Yes, I will.
I'm enjoying the prospect of really getting cranking on this. Sales have been slow, but like I said, there's haven't had a chance to really market it too much. I'm getting into the season's getting where I can fish a little bit more, so I'll get to do some content on it. And so I imagine it'll pick up. But I enjoy making them, and there's something about entrepreneurship that gives you a good spirit. Like, it just feels good to make something and knowing that you're making something high quality, and then when people want it, then that just sets it above. So I do have to thank Freddie from F.O.A. Customs and Gear. He believed in it and took it and sold them, and I'm forever grateful to that man for being such a kind heart and helping a brother out when he has his own rigs that he sells. So as long as he wants them, I'll sell them to him, and you can always get them at FOACustomsGear.com. And both of these guys have a promo code for that as well.
Yep, you can use TSW10 or Fever10, save yourself 10%.
There you go.
Heck yeah.
Hey, real quick, Kevin, you talked about the coupon code. I went to use it, and it said the coupon code is expired.
Oh, I have to change the date on it. Hold on a second.
I just want to make sure everybody that was trying to take advantage.
I think it does the website I use does a natural or a automatic expiration.
Gotcha.
I'll change it up. I'll let you know while you guys are talking.
Sandy Toad said, "Have a look. I want to change up how I fish my waters because the way I was taught just isn't producing the results I want."
Well, there you go.
10-4, sure will.
Like I said in that other video, hey, if it increases your odds, you might as well try it.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to try it.
What do they say? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah. I'm going to bring a bunch to the gathering as well.
Awesome.
I'm not sure who's all coming that's in your chat. I know Dustin's coming, but if y'all want to buy them from me there, if you want to try them out while you're on the Tennessee River, I'll have some with me too.
I might try them out while I'm on Kevin's boat.
I'm gonna try them out on my boat too. Actually, I had them on there last year.
I think that rod I almost dropped in the water had one on there.
Yeah, you had flasher rig on there.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, and you caught the biggest blue of the weekend on my boat with that flasher rig.
I did.
I'm to think about it.
What the heck?
What?
I never heard that.
I caught the biggest fish on Kevin's boat. I think I caught the biggest fish.
But I didn't know if it was. I didn't know it was on a flasher rig.
Yeah,
I caught the biggest fish
Freddie
on
didn't even
John
have
Urbana's boat too.
Yeah, he didn't even have them yet. I gave him the first box that weekend.
I still would have thought Dustin would have told me.
Wanted to keep it a secret.
Purple peanut flasher. Yeah, I definitely messed around with different variations.
The purple widow.
Now you can put a flasher on anything.
Yep. Especially with all those color options you got.
Yep. I'm trying to figure out how I did the code on the website. Isn't that bad? I can't even figure it out.
I just wanted to make sure you were aware of it.
I wasn't. So thank you.
Brian B's big surprise. Brian B is eating.
What else is new?
I know, right? Austin, what were you going to say?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what I was going to say. I think I said it, but now I don't remember what I said. I think I said Dustin will always let you know, is what I said. You can always count on Dustin.
So I do have
whether you want to know or you don't want to know, he's going to let you know.
So I thought about the anglers who, maybe you want to fish for channel cats. I do have a 2.5-inch float and a 8/0 Gamakatsu style circle hook offset. So I can also build those as well. I have 50-pound test for those, and as soon as I can, I'm going to get those up on the site as well. That way people don't have to look, ask for special stuff.
You see that,
Greg? Yeah, I was just looking that up. Greg, to answer your question, if you want to get a year for anybody 65 and older for Tennessee fishing license, it's $20 annually, or you can buy a 1 day for $10. So your $20 is probably your best bet if you're going to be there for multiple days. You can fish the whole year.
Lisa. Oh, she's on the other Kevin.
Oops. Speaking of fishing licenses, I was out on the river fishing, and my wife texts me, and she says, "Did you know that if you don't pay your child support, they can take away your license, which includes your fishing license?"
Wow.
And I'm sitting there thinking, what did I do? What did I do wrong? What did I? Why are you thinking about that right now? You said, "I got you for life."
Oops.
I said, I thought that's what the game plan was. Glad we're on the same page now.
That's funny.
But I didn't know that they'll take your freaking fishing license away for not paying child support, man. It's
wow. Tell you what, DNR in your state is probably the most powerful law enforcement agency there is.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my
Charles,
gosh.
welcome in.
I can't figure this thing out.
That's okay. I mean, you don't have to figure it out now. I guess
I just offered it to everybody, and it's not true.
It's okay, everybody. Well, just be patient. We'll do 26 for 26.
Thanks.
No, that's why I was actually thinking to myself, do I actually say anything until wait till afterwards? But I know you had offered it to everybody. I didn't want people trying it and it not working.
Yeah, I need to figure it out. I'm kind of frustrated.
Well, if I didn't order these the other day, I would have tried it immediately. I would have gone right in there.
I wish you would have told me.
I didn't know.
I appreciate you either way.
I know.
Greg said, "Austin, I know what it's like. Wait till you're married for 51 years.
Oh.
Woo. Yep. She said, "Hasn't it been 51? It kind of feels like it, don't it?
With you, it feels like it, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, with me. Yeah.
Goodness.
I'm a handful.
Is this the bait shop?
No. No, they're serious over there. We're all just all in good fun here.
Oh, my Lanta. I can't figure this out.
But there was some more. Hey, Kevin Hendrickson, welcome in. There were some other things you wanted to talk about the future or about the rigs.
Yeah, that was it. Adding things here and there. I'm really excited about the telescope and cane pole coming. So I'm getting 5 different strengths. So we're gonna, my dad and I are gonna test them out, and they're gonna be full color all the way up, like a fishing or catfishing pole, and they're gonna be 13 feet long. I'm gonna do a video and show you how to rig them. I think a lot of people. So the culture in the lower part of the state in South Carolina, really came from Geechee culture. Like there's a lot of island culture down here in the Charleston area, and you've probably seen old pictures or maybe even seen like bamboo style cane poles or sugar cane, dried out sugar cane poles. And that's kind of where it evolved from. And in some parts of the nation, they actually sell those cane poles.
They sell them here.
But the telescoping cane poles are mainly seen as like a child's tool, child's fishing tool or a small pond tool. But if you watch any of my shell cracker videos, we're catching 1-2 pound shell crackers on them, and it's a blast. And there's a technique to it. And if you come down here, a lot of the bluegill fishermen, everything's a brim down here, except if it's a shell cracker.
Right.
So the pan fishermen down here, you'll rarely see one with a rod and reel, or a jig for that matter. So like I didn't learn that people fished with jigs for panfish until I started watching YouTube. And I'm like, you use jigs? That doesn't work. And I see people catching them. I'm like, wow, we've always used worms or crickets.
Yep.
And so that's just the culture. Like everyone down here, especially this time of season, there's certain areas of the river where the tall grasses come up. And if you're sitting on one side, you can't see the boat or the people, but you'll see the tops of the brim busters come up over the reeds, and they'll be swinging, flipping, lines in and everything.
Right.
And what you do is you wait for them to bed in the shallow water, and you throw it on there, and the males grab the worm and just pull it off the bed. So your bobber doesn't typically go under. You just see it dragging to the side.
Right.
Or they'll just eat it and not move, which is the most bizarre thing. They'll eat it, and the bobber will just go boop, just like that. And if you don't set the hook on him and sit there, and you don't know he's got it, when you do pick it up, you'll know he's on there, and then that hook's in his belly.
Yeah,
like it's very. There's a lot of technique to it, and it's kind of like how most people feel about catfishermen. They think we go out and just throw, a stinky bait on the bottom and wait 10 hours and catch a catfish while we're drinking a beer and eating, cotton candy, or I don't know, chicken wings,
Slim Jims
hot
and
dogs.
cheese.
Yeah,
Slim Jims and cheese, baby.
yeah, and the flies going around, and the old wife beater, and the hat that's beat up,
Giving them the beans.
But there's a lot of sophistication to catfishing now, and there's an art to it almost, or a technique. And so it's the same way with pan fishing. It's really a primitive form of fishing, hook, line, sinker, bobber. But there's a lot of technique to it when you get in there. So I'm really excited to get those poles in. And I know at least down here, I may not be able to keep them on the site because, my family already, I want 5, I want 10, I want 4, I want this.
Wow.
So like, I think they're really going to fly off the shelves, and I just can't wait. I can't wait. It's called the brim banga. I wanted to we call things perch jerkers. They're not really perch, but we call them perch jerkers. Cotton candy, Slim Jim, Jesus. Eat your son. But perch jerkers used. There's a perch jerker rod. And so I looked up a name, like using the Gullah terms, the Geechee terms, and Banga was one, B-A-N-G-A. So it's called the brim banga. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. And then I have the catfish rod coming, and we'll see how that goes. The industry is very up and down right now. You see controversies and drama between owners, and I'm not sure if I want to be in the middle of that. I think it is what you make it, but I think when you start competing with people, even if you don't want to, it's just how it is.
Right. Yeah.
But if you want to do a giveaway, I'll give away a couple rigs.
Absolutely.
Since I can't figure out the code. How to change
Now he feels bad.
It seemed so easy when I did it. It's probably like I'm probably a click away.
My camera's right in the middle of my computer, so I got to look around and see where my
Greg said that's what we call them down here. What do you? Oh, perch jerkers. Charles said, "You're speaking my language. I'm from Tennessee, and I always used to call them bluegill brim. I had to relearn to call the fish by their actual name when I moved to Virginia."
Yeah, I know what he's talking about because I've always called them brim in Virginia.
Yeah, everything's a brim. I never said bluegill. So when people started saying bluegill on YouTube, I was like, "What the heck are they talking about?" It's crazy how
that's the only place that I'll say bluegill
is on YouTube. Yep, me too. Or in a video.
Yeah,
that's what I've always called them. I'm from out in Colorado, so I've never known about any other name.
Yeah,
other than bluegill.
Shell crackers. The real name's red ear.
Yep.
Yeah, so go ahead and put Fat Boy. Why is it not?
And then
It's
you
up
got,
there. I see it.
and you got pumpkin seeds.
Pumpkin seed, red breast,
Yep.
warmouth.
Yep.
Hold on. It's not showing any entries in the.
Oh boy. 26 for 26, y'all. Here we come.
Yeah, it's Dustin's fault.
I don't know what happened. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Oh,
Stop
I found
putting
it.
that in the chat.
Coupons.
Let me redo this. Hold on.
Oh my gosh. Now there's a giveaway and a promo code. Sorry, Kevin.
Oh, I'm cool.
That's the first time that's ever happened.
Ever.
Well, my website says that Austin's delivery is unfulfilled.
Really?
Oh.
Well, he's got it. Oh,
I got it.
I clicked the button. It's fulfilled.
The bag right here.
All right, so it looks like when I redid it, it came in and it automatically popped up to 13 entries. So it already picked up everybody that's already put it in.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Coupons. All right. Expired. Edit. All right. We'll let it end on. We'll go May 30th. How about that? Or until 25 people use it. And it's now live. So 25 for 25. Fatboyrigs.com saves you 25%.
I think I might partake.
I'm going to go do it right now. Just so I can make sure it works, while we're here on live.
But yeah, whoever wins, they can choose. I'll actually just have these up here, whichever ones I got up here. Since they're already made. So I got the flasher. You can try the LG bass, the LG rig. And Laura, the Explorer, has a coupon too. So even if you missed the 25, she's got one that never expires. It's Explorer.
Oh, really?
Yep. I'm not doing like pro staff or anything, but she was really excited about them. And so I was like, you know what? You're doing so good on YouTube. I'm gonna help you out. And you help me out. 25 for 25. If you go on fatboyrigs.com and you enter in the code 25 for 25, you're the first 25 people that do it will save 25% on their order.
That's a good deal too, because the rigs are already priced
they're already
very
really
fairly
inexpensive. Yeah. So yeah, I got the X rig here. I got the LG rig. I got a Steelers rig, a flasher, a plain Jane, and a purple peanut to choose from.
I like it.
And Steelers fans in there. I'm gonna make more. I keep saying I'm gonna do stuff, but I work a lot of hours.
Amen.
I'm also managing social media for a couple companies. So which is awesome. I love it.
That's a job in and of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I manage social media for our school district, all our schools, Palmetto Cats, Fat Boy Rigs, and a couple others that I won't disclose. Because some people don't like me, and if they knew that I did social media for them, they may not buy their products. What? He's posted that? I'm never buying X product again. Then I'll get fired.
All right, we'll give this about 2 more minutes, and then how many you want to give away? 2?
Yeah, we can do 2.
All right, we'll just do the same. We'll just draw from the same pot of entries, so we don't have to redo it.
10 Let's see which one.
Robert Modlin said, "You get 25 rigs for 25 cents."
Oh, hey. And that's the end of the business, guys. Appreciate it.
See what Austin started. Good job, Austin.
It was a good run. Good run.
I sold 10 rigs, and but no, I got serious about it. I bought me a whole contraption here. I got a little Got all my eyes in there.
So you're all set up, organized.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Got my beads and my floats.
All right, looks like we got 20 entries.
We're almost a real business, guys.
Heck yeah. Well, the 25 for 25 does work. Just saying.
Right on. Yeah.
Oh, Donald Long just entered. There's all she wrote right there.
Oh boy, Don Long's gonna win.
Yep.
He does win a lot, doesn't he?
Thanks for playing, fellas.
Ladies and gents. Yeah, I always say he could start a business on all the stuff that he's won.
He could at least
And he's
open like a
brought.
thrift shop. We could definitely open a thrift shop.
Wannabe said, "I'll buy some from you at the gathering."
Nice.
Very cool.
Murillo said, "If I win, who wants them? We all know nothing gonna help me."
That's funny.
Well, you can send them my way, Michael. I'll put them to use.
Yeah, I guess I'll let Dustin have that one.
All right, we ready?
Sure.
Roll it.
Let's draw these. Here we go. Got 21 entries. Good luck, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I saw Fish and Fever put in for him.
I know.
And Mrs. Fever. Fish on Ed Evans.
Ed Evans.
Nice.
Ooh, get you a Pennsylvania flathead on the.
Nice.
Yeah.
He said, "How many you want them to contact you?"
Chat which one you want, Ed. And then you have to send me your address, palmettocats@gmail.com. Flasher, Purple Peanut, X-Rig, Steelers Rig, and Plain Jane, and the LG Rig.
Heck yeah.
Ed, if you're still in here, go ahead and put which one you want, and then we'll draw another one here in just a second.
Yep. He said, "Sweet, thank you."
Oh, there he is.
Let us know in chat which one you want, so that the next person that wins will know which one they can select.
So I'm trying to give Ed a couple more seconds to put the one he wants. Let's see, Ed, what are your water temps?
Once again, if you're just coming in or you didn't hear, there's only 24 opportunities now. I just got an order. 25 for 25. Purple People Eater. All right. That's Ed.
There we go.
And Ed, just email me your address, please, sir. PalmettoCats@gmail.com. But if you use 25 F.O.A. 25 on the site, then it'll get 25% off.
All right, here we go. We're going to draw again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have 22 total entries. Murillo, I'll send you my address.
Congratulations.
There you go.
Which
Michael.
one do you want, Dustin? Or do you want to give it? Do you want to give it somebody in the chat, or you want it? No, you want to give it to Murillo.
Yeah, go ahead and let Michael pick. That's funny. I love when that happens. I remember I was watching some show, and they did a couple of giveaways, and like the first 4 people, I predicted who was going to win, and I was right the first 4 times.
Yeah, I used to win a lot of stuff, and I don't know what happened.
So, Kevin, what's the biggest fish caught on a Fat Boy rig right now?
The biggest fish I've caught on a Fat Boy rig was the flathead this weekend. It's close to 30 pounds.
Nice.
Okay, that's a good one. Very good one.
I'm pretty sure. See, I've been fishing with him for a while, and I don't know what people have called on him. Freddie sold a lot of them at one of the expos he went to.
Yeah.
He sold a bunch at CatCon too. So there may be some bigger ones out there. I just don't know.
I'm sure there is.
Oh, absolutely. I might catch a bigger one tomorrow.
But if I'll also make this deal, if anyone is active on social media, like very active, like Austin or Dustin, I gave them a couple rids at CatCon. If you want to send me an email and say, hey, I got this many subscribers and I'll do this. If you want to do a add-on, I'll send you a couple rigs to try out just to get the word out. Nobody responded to my offer. I'm serious, fam. Speak up.
Oh, 33 pound
LG Bass, 33-pound flathead.
Nice. Smoky Mountain said me.
Smoky Mountain. All right, I got his address. Which one you want? You got the LG, the X, the Flasher, the Plain Jane, the Steeler rig left.
I would probably pick the Flasher.
That's what I would pick too. Matter of fact, my order is going to be a bunch of Flashers.
Yeah, he said Flasher. All right, gotcha.
Beautiful.
Yeah, cool.
Make a leaderboard called Fat Cat some Flatboy rigs. That's a good idea.
Sweet.
That's a good idea. Well, check out the Facebook page, Fatboy Rigs, on Facebook as well. If you got Facebook, and I'll do that. I'll make a post where you can put the biggest fish you've caught on a Fatboy rig. Send me the picture of it, and we'll feature you on there and make a big deal out of you.
There you go.
How about that?
Awesome.
Hey,
awesome.
Parker Pursuits. Hey, Jerry.
What's up, Jerry? Well, Jerry's coming in, and we're getting ready to sign off. So,
Jerry, if you want a Fatboy rig, 25 for 25. Make you famous.
That's right.
Now you'll make me famous.
Well, Kevin, thank you so much for coming up and talking about your rigs. I really look forward to using them. Using more. Like I said, I've got 3 of them right now, and I will be ordering more as soon as we get off here. I'm really excited, especially about the blinker or the flasher rig. That really intrigues me, and I'm really thinking it's going to do. I think it's going to do great for Ed up in the Flathead area.
Yeah. Well, I got once I sell these flashers, I'm getting one made that's an inline one.
Okay.
So the line passes through it, and you don't have those. Some people don't like the little, clips on them or whatever.
Right.
They're a little bit more expensive, but I think they're more high quality.
Gotcha.
Cool. I like it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming up, everybody in chat. Thank you for joining us this evening. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Hope everybody, like I said, had a fantastic week thus far, continues to do so, and has an awesome weekend. Get out there and fish. Don't forget the fish-a-thon this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Whose channel is this going to be on, Kevin?
Palmetto Cats, Feels to Water, and Brian B. Catfishing.
There we go. Go check them out. Cheer on your favorite angler. Cheer on everybody. And we will see everybody.
Veterans tournament, guys. So we're raising money for veterans. Yep.
Yeah. Cheer on everybody. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to fish
got
this
a horse
weekend.
race to go to or something.
Yeah, my daughter popped it on me. I looked up on the calendar. I'm like, you have a horse show? I thought all our horse shows were on Sunday, but this one happens to be on Saturday. I'm like, crap.
Well, you know what? I have much respect for you putting your daughter before your interests, and that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that. Yep. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming in. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. See ya.
Deuces.